Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final part of my Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster playthrough. This is Loghain F for the Revenants gaming, and as you can see, the final boss is Garland, who you will remember as our first boss. He basically this here, which I kind of skip over. He explains that after he was defeated, the four fiends from the past resurrected him and created a time loop, basically. So Garland sent the four fiends into the future to continue a time loop. Anyway, so here we're going up against his final form, Chaos. So yeah, this is a battle that spoiler warning, we will actually struggle with much more. Thankfully, this is the first time I've actually done a playthrough of this game where I have not gotten a game over at this fight. I think it's because I, in general, have a better knowledge of the game mechanics, know better ways to pace the battles. So yeah, as I said in the last part, a lot of the battles have very samey strategies. That's not necessarily true for this fight because Garland has a very wide variety of attacks and also has, given that he's the final boss, has an insane level of health. Anyway, so yeah, we start off with the same strategy of buffing up the knight and the ninja as they lay on their attacks, with temper and haste. And, healing the party as we go, also using the Protera buff to increase defenses. Now, something I don't do in this fight that I probably should have done is buff up the elemental defenses. The reason I think I didn't do it was because Garland hits so hard with regular attacks that it's really for the best you focus on healing. But also that the party doesn't really take that much damage from the elemental attacks if you've been grinding properly. So yeah, this attack, I'm just hitting him with full force, healing as I go. I do not use the White Mage Holy Spell for actual offense in this fight. Yeah, as you'll notice in this playthrough, I only use Holy when I'm going up again, when I'm going through regular enemies, because in elongated boss fights it's kind of impractical because it leaves your team without a healing turn, which is not a good thing. So yeah. And also the Black Mage, as soon as he buffs up good old Zane and Loghain, he is going to focus on Flare, which is, as I mentioned, it's a spell that that's non-elemental, so no enemy can resist it. Now, granted, it doesn't hit as hard as a fully buffed up knight or ninja, but every little bit helps, and the regular magic spells just won't do much. So this fight, I'm just going to tell you, is going to take a while. It's a very repetitive fight because of the low variety of strategy in the first Final Fantasy. That being said, it is a tense fight because, Chaos, as his final form is known, does hit hard. Yeah. So, just focus on healing. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also this fight, there will be a bit of difference in the sense that there will be a bit of difference in the sense that we have one team member that will go down multiple times over the course of this fight, whereas with previous boss fights, if I lost a teammate, I would typically not have the means of reviving that teammate, so the rest of the battle would just be fought by the rest of the team, and then I'd revive later. However, given how hard-hitting Chaos is, I just take full advantage of the full life spell, and this is really the only time in the playthrough I do that, because it's a tier 8 spell, so it's a tier 8 spell, so use it sparingly. It's quite useful. But yeah, so I think we're coming up on the point where the knight dies, if I remember right, because. But yeah. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, there's not, like, the turns are so repetitive that I guess I'll just take this time to talk about the channel and where it's at. Oh yeah, as you can see, night goes down. But anyway, yeah, so at the time of this recording, I'm in the process, I mentioned the last part of recording the Final Fantasy II playthrough, because back when I joined this channel, Carl's first assignment for me wanted me to go through the Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters, which originally I did. I was doing pretty well with uploading on a consistent basis, but you know, life happened and I got really behind, which is why, as you'll notice, we've been pumping out 2 parts a week, you know, to make up for lost time. And yeah, so at the rate we're going, at the time of this recording, I'm pretty sure all the parts of this commentary will be released by the end of this year. I do thank everybody for their support and patience. I know keeping track of a channel that goes long periods without uploading just can seem like a wasted investment. But, you know, for those that watch and for those who share the video around, we do thank you here at the Revenants Gaming. Ultimately, we're really just a team of 2, but at this point, but, you know, we do hope that the channel does grow. We'll just see what happens. Like, you know, there's an old expression, good things come to those who wait, which we really didn't know when we started the channel how we were going to make it big, but we still haven't made it big. But, you know, we're looking into ways to enhance the quality so the videos get more traction. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. But anyway, trying to think. Sorry, I stutter like crazy. I'm so thankful that nobody's ragged on me in comments for that. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, as you've seen throughout this fight, as you've noticed, yeah, Chaos uses all the elemental attacks, which is why Null All, in theory, would have been a good choice to use, but I don't actually lose any team members to the elemental attacks, so it's ultimately a moot point. Yeah. Trying to think what else. But yeah, if y'all... So, and again, I reiterated this in the last recording. At the time of... Oh yeah, and as you can see, night goes down again. Oh dear. That's bad for me because I named the night after my screen name. But anyway, so yeah, so our content is going to be much more available. It's going to be much more present now that Carl is doing a playthrough of the Insomniac Spider-Man game, which if you guys haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It's basically what to Spider-Man it is to Spider-Man what the early Arkham games were to Batman, and which I could go on talking all about that, but that's a topic for another time because, you know, I'm a huge comic dork. Like, I have a very large collection. But yeah, Final Fantasy II, I'm going to start recording that. That will be the focus of next year, which hopefully if I keep uploading at the rate that I've been uploading, this will be, I should theoretically, now don't quote me on this, I would probably be done with Final Fantasy II by at least the first third of the year being done, of 2026, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. But, you know, as I said, good things come to those who wait. Yeah. One game I can't wait to get to, even if it's not one of the better Final Fantasies, is Final Fantasy 3 because there's just a lot more variety in how the battles could go. And I know y'all like some variety, I'm sure, but anyway. Oh yeah, Chaos has gone down. And we're about to enter something that is it's sort of a double-edged sword what's about to happen, because on the one hand, it gives a sense of accomplishment, but on the other, it really drags. And in a game like this, where the story's not nearly as fleshed out, it doesn't feel as satisfying. So, what I mean by this is the end text scroll. This is present in all the Pixel remasters. And I'm going to go with my theater degree, well, no, not degree, my theater training throughout high school, and read it. The time loop was severed at last. The endless struggle that raged over 2,000 years had ended, and peace prevailed once more. All right. The light of the four crystals restored the forces of wind, water, earth, and fire. It was a mere trick of fate that had given rise to the chains of Garland's wrath. But magnified by the four forces meant to guide our world, the trick of fate also gave birth to the fiends. Monsters had run rampant as the world sank into darkness. Oh Lord, cannot talk today. But all that is now past. With the four forces flowing as they were meant, the warriors prepared to cross time and return to the world they knew, where Princess Sarah, Queen Jane, and even Garland himself await. When was the fateful day that spent time spiraling into a loop? None can say. It seems the cycle into which time had fallen would last forever, but the bravery of the four young travelers changed that. They took the forces that filled the world with darkness and used them to bathe the world in light. None will ever recall the struggle the four endured, for the breaking of the chains means that it never existed. But within the tales of fantasy that people tell, the memory of their deeds lives on. Tales of dwarves and elves, of dragons and shining civilizations that reached for the heavens even as they fell. And now their return is upon us. Wow, this is kind of morbid when you really think about it. With the memory of their struggle buried deep in their hearts, they will quietly watch over our world. Remember always that the forces of the world must be used as they were intended, that the power of light must never be used for dark, and that the true crystals reside in your heart. Kind of interesting, I'm not gonna lie. That it just kind of feels like word vomit, honestly. For you are the warrior who crossed time. You are the bringer of light. Alright. So I think that's the end of that. So yeah, as I said, thank you all so much for all the support and for the few people who do comment. Just as we go through this, as we go through the beginning of a new era for the channel, I guess we could say, we appreciate any and all support. If you could like, comment, share the video around, and just give it, and also subscribe. We like that too. But anyway, if you could just give us as much support as possible, we very much appreciate it over here at the Revenants Gaming, and we hope to see you all for the next commentary, or I hope to see you all in the next commentary of Final Fantasy II. And if you haven't tuned in to Carl's Insomniac Spider-Man playthrough, I definitely recommend it, and because it's going to be good. It's a great game, and I'm sure Carl will have some pretty good commentary for it. And so yeah. So thank you all so much for the support. I know I'm repeating myself, but it really means a lot. See y'all around. This is Loghain F signing off.